This is the frequently asked question video for section 2.4 day 1 using polynomial long division. It says in exercises 1 through 6 divide f of x by d of x and write a summary statement in polynomial form and fraction form. So what we want to do here is keep in mind that all we're trying to do at the outset is just get rid of the first term, and that means we need a perfect match for whatever we have in that first term position. So right now what we have is x squared plus 2x minus 1, and I need an x to the fourth, and the only way that I'm going to get that in that first term is by multiplying by x squared. So I'll multiply by x squared and I'll write down what I would get. X squared times x squared is x to the fourth. X squared times plus 2x is plus 2x cubed. And then we have x squared times negative 1, which would be minus x squared. And I can see that what I wanted to happen right here is happening, that those two are perfect matches. So I'm going to go ahead and line that x squared up right above my other x squared terms. Now, remember, whether or not we're doing polynomial long division or just normal long division, what we're always trying to do is set this up so that when we subtract, we will get rid of what we want. And what we do with polynomial long division is we just think of this as adding a negative. So we're going to go ahead and switch the signs here, and we're going to add. And let me get my divisor back out in front here. All right, so we have x to the fourth plus a negative x to the fourth, which is 0, which is exactly what we wanted. Negative 2x cubed plus a negative 2x squared x cubed is a negative 4x cubed. 3x squared plus an x squared is 4x squared. And then just as we're used to with long division, we would bring down that next term. So next thing to work on is a negative 4x cubed, and we still have our same divisor. That does not change as we work through this problem. Now I need a negative 4x cubed, so I'm going to need a negative 4 and an x to multiply through, because what I need to happen is to get that negative 4x cubed for my first term, and that will do it. So I go ahead and multiply that out. Negative 4x times x squared is negative 4x cubed. Negative 4x times 2x is negative 8x squared. And then negative 4x times negative 1 would be plus a 4x. Now that did work. We do see that those two terms are the same, so we're going to go ahead and put that minus 4x that just worked up on top above the other x term. So now we need to change that to adding a negative. So this will become a plus, and a minus. Again, that's because normally we would do subtraction. So negative 4x cubed plus 4x cubed, 0. That's gone. That's exactly what we wanted. 4x squared plus 8x squared is 12x squared. And then we have a negative 4x and another negative 4x, negative 8x. Bring down the next term. Now we still have our x squared plus 2x minus 1. And I need to get a 12x squared, so obviously I'm going to have to multiply that first term by 12 to make that happen. That will give me 12x squared plus 24x, and then I have minus 12. And again, I can see that that is a match, so I'm going to go ahead and take this 12 and put it right up here, and go ahead and switch the signs and add. Again, that's because this was supposed to be subtraction. So 12x squared plus a negative 12x squared is 0, and that's exactly what we wanted to happen. We have negative 8x and negative 24x, so that's going to give us a negative 32x, and then we have a 6 plus 12, which is 18. Now I go back to my divisor, and I see I cannot multiply that divisor by something to get a negative 32x, which means the rest of that is going to be our remainder. However, I have a negative in the front, and normally we'd like to write this as either just subtraction or as addition. So what I'm going to do is I can either use subtraction and write everything in parentheses, or this would be one of the rare cases when we might just go ahead and use plus a negative. So either way, this is going to work. We could go ahead and pull the negative out and make this a minus, and that would be 32x minus 18. I forgot the 2 down there. See if I can move this up so you can see that a little bit better. All right, so we could do minus, or a negative really, of 32x minus 18. If we want this to be subtraction, we could do that. And so I go back up here, and this would give me minus, and then I'll do 32x minus 18 over x squared plus 2x minus 1. So that would be when we're just writing it as division, just like we did last year. And so they're going to call that summary notation. If we go back up to look at the directions, it says write a summary statement in polynomial form and in fraction form. So that summary statement in fraction form would be x squared minus 4x plus 12 minus 32x minus 18 all over x squared plus 2x minus 1. Okay, sorry, I had to sneeze there. All right, so the next piece would be to write this as the polynomial form, which means we're writing it with our remainder. So what that would be is our original divisor, x squared plus 2x minus 1, times our quotient, and then all of that, we would have to go ahead and add our remainder, which we could go back down here and just go ahead and use the negative 32x plus 18. So we could change this to minus 32x plus 18. So it's all about which way you're going to write it. Again, it would be really weird to write plus a negative 32x plus 18 up here, and so we tend to just pull a negative out, factor that out in the front, and then it just looks more normal. But when we're going ahead and writing this as the product, then we want to go ahead and use that subtract 32x plus 18 at the end.